Welcome back, folks, to Let's Play Dragonheart, Fire and Steel. And when last we left off, the revolt is now in full swing, and peasants and armed people alike will be storming the castle of King Einon to overthrow him. We should move as quickly as we can to go and help our friends and allies, and I believe that might be Gilbert. It probably is Gilbert. Sir Bowen, you're here at last! The rebel villagers have finally risen up against King Einon. The final battle is at hand! That is good news, Friar. What is the rebels' plan? The rebels have drawn Einon's army out of his castle and into the forest. The fight will be easier on our own ground. A wise plan. We split up his forces in the forest and then rush the castle. Exactly. Before this day is out, the evil king will be dethroned. The despised ruler will be unseated. Which way to the battle? Into the forest! Hurrah! This is not quite how it goes in the actual movie. There is actually a fight. Also, there's a map here. I'm not sure why they bothered with that. But the final actual confrontation takes place very differently. Here we go. There are going to be guards here that we're going to have to defeat, I wager. This might be one of them. Come here, peasant! Let me sharpen my sword on your bones. Stand aside, soldier. I'm coming through, or don't you recognize a dragon slayer when you see one? If you fight with the peasants, you'll die like a peasant. Try your hardest, soldier. Unfortunately, you're not a dragon. Therefore, you are really easy to kill. I just need to wait until you get a little closer, and then hit you. Really, the dragons were a lot harder. The swamp people were a lot harder. This is going to be 90% of the fights in the final level of the game. Basically, guards, who are pretty easy to defeat. Speaking of guards, here is Felton. Ah, Sir Bowen. I'm glad you could make it to our little party. It's a shame you have to leave so soon. But I don't want to leave. I'm enjoying myself. Then enjoy this. I will. You may think Felton is going to be a hard fight, but he really isn't. Because he's just like all the other guards. He actually takes just as long to swing his sword. He just has more health. He also doesn't have a shield. Not that that matters. You wonder why none of these guards actually have shields. But Felton is going to die the way all the other guards die, without landing a single blow. Felton is dead. Let us move on. Maybe we'll find more guards. Arrgh! And that's all we got out of this man. Well, we'll wait for him to get close enough so that we can just hit him with our sword. Sir Bowen is truly a master at swordplay. Either that, or these guards and Felton are absolutely terrible at swordplay. Yep, the dragons are much harder than the guards. We could probably actually single-handedly defeat every single soldier. We might just do that. Sir Bowen, our plan is working. Einon's men are weakening. Fight on, Hugh. The battle has just begun. Or have you seen Draco? Yes. He's up ahead giving Einon's castle a good roasting. I'm sure it sure is good to have a dragon on our side for a change. That is it. Let's go. Or that it is, rather. Let's keep going. We're getting pretty close, I think, too. Oh, here's a guard. Oh no! The Dragon Slayer! I must warn Sir Brock. Nobody likes a tattletale. AKA, we're going to kill you, soldier. You unfortunately are armed just like all the others. And so you will die, like all the others, by being hit with a sword, and not landing a single blow. Although by the time you got to this point, if you were playing on the Game Boy, this would be quite tense. All the build-up of actually getting all the way to the final level, especially if you've watched the movie. I quite like the movie. You, come here! It's time I taught you a lesson. Brock, you surprise me. I didn't think you'd be smart enough to teach anyone anything. It's not brains that count on the battlefield, it's brawn. That's an old wife's tale, Brock. Sometimes old wives are right. Unfortunately, I'm armed just like all of the other people. which means you don't actually need to move at all, and you just need to hit the attack button when I get into strike range, and you'll always hit first. I really should have attacked you with more stuff, shouldn't I? Yes, you should. Unfortunately, you are going to perish now, Brock. You are merely a road bump in my path to victory. Yep, that's the end of Brock. And with that, we move on. Down this passageway, and I believe down here. Ah, Sir Bowen! Einon's soldiers are on the run! We are winning! Keep going, Friar. We must reach the castle. Wait! Here comes a rider. It looks like King Einon himself! Quick, Friar! Use your bow! Now this is a scene from the movie. My trusty bow! Don't fail me at my moment of need. Shoot! Shoot! Indeed, in the movie, Gilbert did indeed fire his bow at Einon. And he is indeed hit! He's hit! My arrow struck true! Hurrah! Well done, Friar. But he rides on. What treachery is this? No man would survive such a wound. King Einon is no ordinary man. Some say that he is in league with dragons. That may be so, but we've no time for talk. After him! Indeed, we are going after him, into his castle. We are now in the castle itself, and all we're going to find are encounters with guards. Stop! You'll go no further. Step aside. I have business with your king. He's not going to step aside. Unfortunately for him, he has got even less health than Felton and Brock, and has no better strategy than the others. So we're just going to hit him repeatedly with this sword until he dies, which will be about now. Kersplat. Well, that's one down. Let's see if we can find the others. We actually need to find the king. And that was not really much of a diversion. But here is Kara. Bowen, you're safe. Quick, we must get into the castle while we've got them on the run. Lead the way. Will this actually take me straight to the castle? I don't know. It could have asked how the villagers were faring, but... Oh, there you go. We could ask. How are the villagers faring? They're bearing up well against Einon's army, and Draco has been a big help. Where is Draco now? He's circling the castle and doing a tremendous job of scaring Einon's men. And it's good news. Now on to the castle. And by on to the castle, I mean we're now going to actually move forward. Nope, apparently she is just here. So we can't go this way. We need to head another way. Like, say, this way? Let's go this way. Is this a guard? Ah! King Einon! They're in the castle! I'm now going to valiantly sacrifice myself. I really should be swinging as I'm moving up, but I'm really terrible at this fighting malark. This guy seems to be timing my every single strike. I'm about to die now, sir! Blah! And so he perished. Well, let's keep moving. Maybe we'll find King Einon at some point. Sir Bowen, how sad it has come to this. My son, Einon, has lost touch with reality. Please forgive me, Iceland. I must put a stop to his evil ways. Go with a clear conscience, knight. It is for the good of the people that he must be stopped. Yes, Einon was destroyed. Einon was not destined to be this way, but he is your son. Though I wish he weren't my son. If I hadn't made that pact with Draco, maybe everything would be alright. Einon is an evil man. I think he would have turned out this way regardless. It is true. Now go, Sir Knight. Do your duty. I'm on my way. You can use this handkerchief. I don't need it. I would have used it to wipe off the blood, but... So, Bowen, it is down to you and I at last. Do not think that you have won yet. I have not been in this game for the entire time. This is meant to have some significant build-up, but I don't look much different from all the other guards. Einon, you used to be such a good student. What happened? I learned that the old code is a waste of time, and I learned how to be a king like my father before me. Your father was as evil as you've turned out to be. You'll pay for that insult. Einon might actually be a challenge. He has a lot of health. He's also very fast on the swing. We need to be a lot faster than we are being. Basically, we need to be a lot faster. Ag! I taught you everything you know about fighting. I can read you like a book. You may know all my moves, but I am a younger and faster knight. You have youth and speed, but no wisdom. Defend yourself, king. This is going to be a long fight. And we need to be very careful, because he's very fast. He's not kidding. He swings very quickly. Fortunately, we have an advantage on him. Ugh, that was a good blow, but it won't win you this battle. Can you hear the rebels approaching? Your soldiers are falling by the dozen. I'm not scared of a few peasants, you fool. I am the king! Also, at this point in the movie, there was definitely a mention to the fact that every time they critically wounded Einon, Draco was also very badly hurt. In fact, at this point, it's pretty much implied that their health is linked, and that one cannot die without the other dying. But specifically, trying to kill Einon wasn't going to do anything. But this appears to have been completely glossed over at this point in this game. This land needs a new king. If you want me, come and find me. Have you run away? You've ran away, haven't you? Let's go up and find you. Where are you, Einon? Have you run away again? Halt, peasant! Dragon Slayer, not peasant. Well, that correction did nothing. You've got a fair bit of health. Unfortunately, you're going to fight just like all the others. Ooh, you actually moved quite quickly there. Need to time myself very carefully so that I don't lose too much health, because I think Einon is going to have full health when I fight him again. I don't know how many times I'm going to have to fight him, but this guard is dead, and is going to prove no problem to me. More guards? This is a very linear passageway. You're very persistent, aren't you, knight? I won't stop until you change your evil ways. Then we have a stalemate. I'll never change my ways for the likes of you. Don't do it for me, do it for your kingdom. Spare me the sentimental speeches, Bowen. I care about my kingdom as much as it cares about me. You poor deluded fool. Well, he's not got all of his health back. Well, that's good. We get to fight him some more. Even though he's faster, he does do exactly the same tactics. You fight as well as ever, Bowen, but I doubt that you will be able to keep up with my fast pace. My sword has killed many evil dragons. I'm sure it's fast enough. The dragon's heart inside of me makes me invincible! I am immortal! Ah, now it's mentioning it. We pretty much discovered this a lot differently at this point, but I think they knew at this point, after they'd shot Einon with the bow, or rather Gilbert had. No dragon is invincible, not even a human one. You sound jealous, knight. Jealous of my dragon-like powers. Come here, King Dragon. My sword is getting impatient. Catch me if you can, knight. I'm going to run up to the next floor now. Bye! Darn you, Einon! Come back here. More soldiers? Sir Bowen, hurry! He is in the tower. Don't let him escape. I won't, my lady. Be careful, knight. My son has lost his mind. He is capable of anything. Fear not, my lady. I will defeat him. And we will defeat him. He can't run forever, after all. Is this the tower? I hope so. I think so. Oh, another map? That wasn't a very useful map, mind you. Another map? And is this him? No! Don't you ever give up! This is it, Einon. There's nowhere left for you to run. This kingdom will soon be free. I'm not beaten yet, knight. Your army has been defeated, Einon. The rebels have won. They're just peasants. Can't you hear Draco chasing your soldiers out onto the fields? Ah, Draco! Curse that name. Dragons are liars! They're all evil! No, Draco is good. It is you that is evil. Ah, no! Defend yourself! He's not got anywhere to run now. He doesn't have much health either. This is the end of the road for you, Einon. The end of the road. One more hit. Kapow! And so, King Einon is defeated by his old teacher Bowen, ascending his evil reign forever. But unfortunately, it was not without consequence, at least in the movie. Draco knows that his time has come, and he must join his forefathers among the stars in the constellation of Draconus in order to prevent Einon from ever returning. No, actually, they killed Draco to kill Einon. I think Bowen had to kill Draco to kill Einon. That's a slight glossing over there of what happened. Queen Iceland accepts the throne and rules for many years to come. Her subjects love her very much, mainly because she is not horribly evil and doesn't send them all to mines or to work to death. Bowen and Kara become very good friends and live in the castle in service of their queen. Bowen thinks of his friend Draco every day. They did become very good friends, that much is true, and he did indeed miss Draco. That very much is true as well. I continue my work as scribe, penning the entire events of Draco and Bowen and the evil King Einon. Einon, yes, while I can remember them. Got to remember his name. Einon. My memory is going a bit. I did a good shot, though. Here endeth the time of dragons, and of one special dragon who will live on in our hearts forever. But not Einon's heart. We really don't want him to live in his heart. Kinda kept him going forever. So yes, not that one. And indeed, the end. That's it! The end of the game! And it's very unlike all of the other games that were released for Dragonheart, in that this one is indeed an adventure game. And the credits roll! And with that, it is over. And to be honest, I really like this game. It may be short and simple, but for the Game Boy it's quite an achievement, and it's very enjoyable. I really enjoyed playing through it when I played through it when I was younger. I didn't get as far as I did now. I never actually completed it when I actually had the game itself and playing it on the Game Boy. I got to about level 3 or 4. The music, yes, there is not a lot of variety in it, and the combat, once you actually figure out its secrets like I did there while I was playing, is very simple. But the story is actually quite fun at parts, and I really enjoyed playing through it. It's not entirely true to the movie. It does sort of pick up later. The first parts of it just aren't at all true. Also, game over. Because this is a Game Boy game, and sometimes that happened. So, indeed it is a game over. But I really did enjoy this game. And also, I should press that button to take us back to the main menu, because we want to hear this music some more. But indeed, I really enjoyed this game. There's some actually quite funny parts to it, and the alternate dialogue means there's a small amount of replayability. There's no hard mode or anything like that, so once you've played through it once, you pretty much know how the game's gonna go. But still, for a tie-in game, for a movie, this is a really solid effort, and I'm really happy that I encountered it when I was younger. And I'm really happy to have shown it to you now, for it is a really fun game indeed. Very fun indeed. And I recommend anybody who has a Game Boy to pick it up, for it is a very enjoyable little portable adventure game. It's not a true adventure game like Lands of Lore is, but it certainly has that exploration element, and the way that you actually move was I was very impressed with it at the time. When I first played, I'm like, what is this? This is just like Lands of Lore. It's not quite like Lands of Lore at all, but it's still a good game, and I'd recommend anybody to try it. And it's pretty short too. As you see there, I've done it in 8 videos. Not very long, but still very fun. I would prefer them to have more music tracks, but you can't have everything. After all, Game Boy cartridges didn't have very much memory, so, or space, so there wasn't a lot of actual room to work with. There were some very impressive things that could be done with normal Game Boy cartridges. Very impressive things. You would do well to look it up. But that indeed is Dragonheart, Fire and Steel. It doesn't say Fire and Steel anywhere, but it is called Dragonheart Fire and Steel. At least I believe it is. Otherwise I've been introducing it completely wrong every single video. So, when we come back, folks, who knows what is to come? There might not be any dragons for a while, or any combat that was as simple near the end in that last level as this game had, but I'm sure there'll be something that once again will make your imagination soar into the clouds. Like, say, a dragon? And so, when we come back, folks, a new Let's Play. But for now, I think Sir Bowen has deserved a very good rest. And it's a good thing they didn't make any sequels to this movie. Oh wait. They did, didn't they? Oh. So, I'm Kikoskia, and that was Let's Play Dragonheart, Fire and Steel. Also, interesting fact for you, just before I finish, the console and PC versions of the Dragonheart Fire and Steel games were made by Funcom, whereas this one was not and was made by Taurus Games. Just an interesting little fact that I found when I was looking the game up. I wonder why this version wasn't made by Funcom, but that is a question to be asked another time. So, I'll catch you next time, folks. And I'll see you then. Later. And we'll leave you with Gilbert there to sign us out. Sign us out, Gilbert. I'm really bad at this, Kikoskia. Later. That'll do, Gilbert. That'll do. Later.